This is Ericka Flye, television news anchor, and you're watching AMPS TV. I'm from Anderson, Indiana, which is not too far from here. Born and raised there. Lots of families still live there. Went to elementary school, middle school, high school in Anderson. And then for college, I went to Purdue University for 1 year. And then I transferred from Purdue and went to Ball State University in Muncie, Indiana for 3 years. And that's where I graduated from with a degree in telecommunications. I tell people this all the time. I don't even remember having the news on in my house as we were growing up. And my mom insists that we did because they watched the news. But clearly, it didn't get my attention because I don't ever remember seeing a newscast when I was growing up. I was more into cartoons and, TV sitcoms and stuff like that. I just don't remember the news being on. So it wasn't seeing the news that influenced me to get into this business. It's when I got older and started researching different careers, that's when I found out that TV news was a career and this is what it involved. But my sister, who's 3 years older than me, she went to college first. She went to Ball State, and she majored in telecommunications. And when I asked her what that was, because I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do, I asked her, well, what does your major involve? And that's when she said, it's TV news, radio, newspaper, media. And I said, oh, well, tell me more. So she got my attention, and she started telling me what it was all about. And I decided that that's what I was going to major in. So I didn't really know everything that it involved because I hadn't grown up with it per se. But I decided that, oh, that might be something that I like and I'm interested in, and I decided to pursue it as a major. It's my niche. I think my niche is community and people. I like to tell stories about people. I like inspirational stories, stories that someone can get something out of to make themselves better or to make them have a better life. I like telling stories that people just soak in the information and it makes them want to do something with their lives to help the community. So I would say I'm more of a community-based, inspirational type reporter. Now, granted, I don't tell those stories all the time. I'm just telling you the stories that I get the most out of and the stories that I like to tell. Stories that are going to help people and benefit people, and especially people that I can interview that started here and got to here. Like, how did you do that? How did you take yourself from this level to this level? And hopefully they can give advice, they can give tips, and they can just talk about it in a way that someone else can get something out of it. Well, I always wanted to report the news in my home state of Indiana. Like I said, I'm from Anderson, Indiana. So when I thought about, where I could make a difference and where I wanted to talk about what was going on in the community, I wanted to be in my home state. I started out in Indianapolis. It was my first TV job. Moved away, did a few other things. And then I actually worked in Columbus, Ohio at a TV station and really just wanted to come back to Indianapolis, to my home state. Got a job here at Channel 6. And I never thought I would be back here so early in my career. I thought it would be something that came at the tail end of my career. And since I've been back here, I've just been loving it. I think what's so important to me is because I get to talk about things that affect my family and my friends. I mean, I know this place. I know it like the back of my hand. This is where I was born and raised, or near here at least. And I feel like I care about what happens here. Because like I said, my family and my friends live here, and new friends as well. And so I care about what I'm talking about. And these are things that affect me, they affect my family, and they affect my friends. So I think that's what makes all the difference about doing the news in some place where you grew up, is because you genuinely care about the community and what happens here. I decided to start a mentoring program. I got a bunch of friends together. professional women in the community. And we said, let's do this. And we laid the foundation, and we started a mentoring program for young girls. And we started at an elementary school. And the principal there was very helpful, helped us get things started because we didn't really know what we were doing. We just had a vision. And that was back a few years ago, and we've grown ever since. We help young girls, and we teach them life skills, life lessons, we call it. And things like self-respect, respecting others, confidence, building confidence, leadership, fashion sometimes, hygiene, etiquette. Just things that we learned growing up that made us successful in life, and we're just passing it on to the younger generation. And I just felt that was needed. I know there are lots of programs out there that help young girls, but we just wanted to kind of pass on our life experience that got us to where we are today. Being in the business as long as I've been in the business, I do a lot of stories about what's gone wrong with our young people and the trouble that they're in. I report on something bad about a young person all the time, and I just thought, who's out there making a difference? Who's out there trying to get into their lives and get into their heads and turn things around? And there are people out there doing that. There are programs out there doing that, but I thought, I talk about it all the time. How can I help? How can I change the situation? And that's when I thought that I could bring my life experience into someone else's life. What has helped me along the way? What has guided me on this path? And maybe if I can just reach one person, then that person can reach someone else, and then that person can reach someone else, and it just gets the chain going. And that's why I thought there was a need for a mentoring program. When I was in elementary school, middle school, high school, I was not that outgoing kind of person who was just a go-getter. I was very shy. I wanted to stay behind the scenes. I wanted to stay in the back of the classroom and not raise my hand, hoping the teacher didn't call on me. I wasn't that kind of person. It took a lot for me to be able to come out of my shell, and it just came with confidence through the years, trying new things, stepping out on faith. Just trying to get that courage within, saying, I think I can do this. Let me try it and see. It's getting over that fear of being on the forefront, I guess you could say, and not behind the scenes. And once I just took a chance and stepped out on faith, and I thought, okay, this isn't so bad. I can be out here in front of the public. I can step out in front, and it's not as bad as I thought it was. So it's just finding the courage to step out in front. And you'll realize it's not so bad. There was nothing to fear in the first place. Well, I spend a lot of time at work. A lot of things that I do involve work. Even when I'm not at work, I'm researching, or I'm setting up interviews, or I'm chasing down story ideas. So a lot of my off time really isn't off time. But when I really, truly do have some off time, I just like to chill and relax. I like to just sit in my house and actually enjoy my home, watch all the things that I've DVR'd through the week that I never had a chance to watch. I'm constantly deleting, trying to make some more space because it fills up so fast. So I'm a homebody, stay at home a lot. I do like to go out and eat because I'm a foodie. I love eating. I love trying new restaurants. I like going to old favorites as well, meeting up with friends or family at these restaurants. So I do that a lot. I go out to eat, and I shop. I do shop a lot. Not necessarily buying stuff. I just like to look. I just like to see what's out there. I like to get ideas. Not just clothes. I also like interior decorating. That's one of my hobbies, is I like to decorate homes. And so I'll go to home stores and I'll just look at different furniture or different displays and see how they have things arranged or set up, and I'll take some of those ideas and I'll go home and I'm like, oh, I'm going to do my bathroom like this today. And that's what makes me happy. It brings me joy because it's one of my passions is decorating. So I like clothes, so I do like to go clothes shopping, and I like home decor. So I spend a lot of my spare time and my free time in either stores looking for clothes or home stores looking at decorations. A lot of people will be surprised to know that I was a ride operator at Universal Studios in Hollywood, California. I worked on the Back to the Future ride. I strapped people in to their seat and sent them on their way. So that was after college, before I started a career in television. So I love that job. It was so fun. Another thing that people might not know about me, I was a cheerleader in high school for a few years. I was also on the tennis team. I wasn't very good at tennis, but I was on the team and I had a lot of fun. Also, one of my jobs outside of TV before I got into this business is I was a sales associate at Neiman Marcus in Chicago on Michigan Ave, and it was a fantastic job. I saw a lot of celebrities coming in and out of there, but it was interesting working at Neiman Marcus. So I had a good time there. Another thing people might not know about me is growing up, I had a speech impediment. When I was in elementary school, I had a speech impediment. I couldn't say my R's, so I had to go to a special speech therapy class to overcome that. And I'm just very thankful that my parents recognized it and put me into a class, and it was just something that I overcame and got past that. This is going to surprise a whole lot of people. I guess you could say I was a rapper. Okay, not like a real rapper, but in high school, me and one of my friends decided that we were gonna try to be like Salt and Pepper. So we started our own little rap group, and we actually went to some places and performed, and we thought we were good.
You got to say one of them.
Other people thought we were good too, but yeah, we thought we were great. But that didn't last very long. That was just something fun that we decided we were gonna do, and we called ourselves rappers at that time. She was a freestyle rapper. I had to write all my stuff down. I wrote lyrics down, just like I'm writing a story for the newscast now. I had to write all my lyrics down and everything, and she could freestyle. This is Ericka Flye. I've just been interviewed by AMPS magazine.